Welcome back. Let's try to clarify a few things regarding adding integers with different signs. I think most of you are doing really well in this, and we'll just try to clarify a few things. Let's start with an example. 2 plus -3 equals. So the first thing we want to do is to drop the signs. Now remember, if there's no sign in front of an integer, that means that that integer is positive. We always look to the sign that is immediately to the left of the integer, or to the left of the number. So in this case, we have 2 and 3. Let's write down the absolute values of those. So it's 2 and 3. And remember, no sign means that it is a positive number. So absolute value 2 and 3. Now let's find the difference between 2 and 3. The difference between 2 and 3 is 1. Remember, when we're finding the difference, we're subtracting. So just take the absolute value. 3 minus 2, that's 1. Okay? Now we're going to go back and we're going to take the absolute value that was greater. In this case, 3 is greater than 2. And since 3 was a negative integer in the original problem, that means that the sum is -1. So 2 plus -3 equals -1. Moving ahead. What if I have -4 plus 9? Same thing. We're going to drop the signs and just get the absolute values, 4 and 9. The difference between 4 and 9 is 5. Now let's take a look at the original problem. 9, the greater absolute value, was a positive, so our answer will be positive. So -4 plus 9 equals 5. Let's look at another example. 15 plus -25. Now by now you should be thinking in your head, oh, I'm just going to take those absolute values, and they are 15 and 25, difference of 10. Which absolute value is greater? That's right, 25. 25 is a negative, so your solution will be negatives. 15 plus -25 equals -10. We got it? Okay. So, I'll just leave this up for a minute. In case you didn't get it into your notes, this would be a good time to copy it into your notes. When we're adding integers with the same and different signs. If the signs are the same, you're just adding the absolute values and you're using the common sign. So 3 plus 5, it's just 3 plus 5. The absolute value is 3, the absolute value is 5. 5 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8. They're both positive, the common sign is positive, so 3 plus 5 is 8. A complicated way of just saying 3 plus 5 is 8. -2 plus -10. This is where it gets tricky. They're both negatives. We're adding. There's a common sign. Both numbers are negative, so they're negatives. Both negative. So we're just going to add the absolute values. 2 plus 12 is 14. Since they're both negative, the answer is -14. The sum is -14. When the signs are different, then we're going to find the difference between the absolute values. And the sum takes the sign of the greater value. So I have 3 plus -5. The absolute value is 3 and 5. The difference between 3 and 5 is 2. 5 is the greater absolute value. It is negative, so the answer is negative. So 3 plus -5 is -2. The second example. -10 plus 3 equals -7. That's a typo. We're going to find the difference in the absolute values between 10 and 3, which is 7. 10 is the bigger absolute value. It's negative, so the answer is -7. That's a typo. That should be 10 plus 3 equals -7. And then finally, one last concept here, a number and its opposite. The sum is 0. The number, the opposite of any number is called its additive inverse. So when you have a number and its opposite and you add them, it ends up being 0. 5 plus negative 5 is 0. Negative 12 plus 12 is 0. If I give you $5 and I take $5 away, you have nothing. Okay? Does it make sense? All right. That's it for now. We'll catch you in class.